Well, I'm not a rock star, guys. I'm just a content creator, but in today's video review, what I'm going to be showing you will make you play like a rock star and feel like one. You want to play loud, but the louder you play, the harder it is to hear yourself. When it comes time to play your solo part, you don't hear yourself, and it's quite unnerving not to be able to hear what you're just about to play. It's kind of like stumbling around in the dark. So one solution to this problem is in-ear monitors. Now, I never felt that I was deserving of a set of in-ear monitors because I'm not a rock star. You usually see rock stars with these type of things. But now the prices are becoming very much affordable, and you don't necessarily have to spend big bucks anymore, and you don't have to stumble around not being able to hear yourself in a live scenario. So today's video review hopefully will offer some kind of a solution for all of you guys out there suffering with the same problem. So the product in question is the brand new B7-Pro wireless in-ear monitor system from NUX. It's a very, very cool system that we're going to be looking at today. Hopefully you guys are interested in learning more about this product because we're going to go into quite a bit of detail. Now, the first thing is quality. I really do feel that NUX has upped their game in the last little while. I have reviewed a couple of their products in the past, and to be honest with you, all of the new stuff that I've been getting from them have consistently blown me away, and I'm hoping that today's product is no different. Now, when you're looking at an in-ear monitor system, you don't want to spend a lot of money. Some of them can be very expensive. Not to mention the actual in-ear monitor part. These don't come with the system. So I want to just point that out from the get-go so that there's no surprises or misunderstandings. In-ear monitor systems can be very expensive. So the actual pieces that go in your ear can be very expensive. You can easily spend $200, $300, $400 or more on professional quality in-ear monitor systems. Now, you don't have to do that, and I'm going to be sharing with you the models that I'm using for this review, which I find are very, very reasonably priced and provide great bang for the buck. I'll share that information with you towards the end of the video in case you want to pick up a set of these for yourself. So let's get to the product in question. Without any further ado, let's open up the box, see what we can see inside. I know this seems silly, but the box itself is very good quality. The graphics, the printing, just the overall feel of it is very professional. So it doesn't seem like it's a product that has been simply thrown together. And I do like the fact that they are paying attention to details like this. So let's open it up and see what's inside. So right out of the box, we have a manual, a very nice manual actually, and pretty thick indeed. I'm not going to look at this right now. I'm going to try and figure things out for myself. That's one of the exercises I like to do. If it's too complicated and you have to resort to the manual, sometimes that's a negative in my opinion. So I'm going to see if I can just figure it out on my own. So right away, I can see that the box has fitted compartments for all the main components of this solution. If I see this level of detail, I know a lot of thought went into this product. So I'm looking forward to exploring the rest. So here you can see in this lower corner, we have the transmitter. The receiver is right up here. It's a lot smaller. We have a little attachment piece here and a box, which I'm sure houses the wall wart and probably the USB cable. We'll open that up in a second. But I'm very much interested in checking out the transmitter first. So let's pull that out of the box before we do anything else. Okay, so my first impression right out of the box, I like the weight of this unit. It's very compact, but it feels solid. It has a nice heft to it. And the enclosure is completely made of aluminum. Looks almost like a gunmetal finish, which is very sexy indeed. The front of the unit is pretty slick. It's got a nice plastic screen portion, if you want to call it that. A couple of buttons, a knob that acts as both a knob and a button. And we have the NUX logo as well as an input here on the leftmost side of the unit for headphones. The top of the unit has a little rubberized piece here with a couple of copper connectors and a couple of magnets which will hold the receiver. So this unit acts as a cradle. When you're not using the unit, you can actually just put the receiver right here and it will snap into place with the magnets and charge the receiver. So this transmitter also works as a docking station. So let me show you the receiver, because that's quite nicely made as well. So there you go. The receiver here is quite small, as you can see. This is made of plastic. It's not made of aluminum. It has the NUX logo on it, a couple of buttons on the side of it here. They have a plus minus button, a power button, and on the opposite side we have two LED lights, one for the status of the connection, one for battery status, and in between both of them we have an input for the in-ear monitors that would plug into this, so that you actually can hear what you're doing. And on the opposite side of that, we have a little USB connector to charge up this portion of the system when it's not on the cradle. So when it is on the cradle, all you need to do is take this, snap it in place. It rests right there. And because the magnets are so nice and strong, very satisfying click here, this will not come loose. You can shake this thing all you want and this thing will not come loose. That's very reassuring. I like to see that. And it's interesting that we have these two plastic parts at the top. I assume, I'm not a pro here, but I assume that these are where the antennas are enclosed, and they kind of blended it into the design, and I think that's really nice. It works really well. If I turn on the receiver here, you'll see the lights go on the front of it. And then if I hold the transmitter down, it should make a connection. We'll just let it run its course here, and it's connected. And you can see the status here. We'll run through the menus in a second, but I just want to show you how quickly it connects. So this is quite nice. And then when it's on the unit here, you can see the battery pops up and you can see the status of the battery, both for the transmitter and the receiver, which is quite nice. Now the back of the receiver also has a little metallic clip. This can be clipped to your pants, to your belt, to your guitar strap, wherever you feel is appropriate, and is quite nicely made, doesn't get in the way. Before we actually look at the menu, let's look at the back of the device, because the back of the device is just as important as the front. We have two inputs here, mono left and right. I would most probably be using this with my Fractal FM9 going right into here, and it's nice to see that this actually has two independent balanced inputs. So there's no simulated stereo or anything like that. This is true stereo. So my unit is able to do true stereo out. So I'll be taking advantage of all of that and be, enjoying all of the great sounds that I can get from my unit in terms of modulation effects, really nice reverbs, ping pong delays, and all of that. We also have an auxiliary in here. You can also plug in other devices into this, and you can listen to your device. So it could be an MP3 player, it could be a phone, some other device. We have a connector here for the wall wart. It's a 9-volt wall plug that goes into here, which will charge up this unit and also provide charging power to the receiver. And finally, we have a USB-C connector, which is not used for charging. It's actually going to be used for connecting this to your PC, because not only does this unit act as a wireless system, it also acts as a DAW. So I can go into this with my guitar using my FM9, my Fractal, and I can actually plug this into my computer with the USB connector and go into Logic or whatever other software I would like to use to be able to actually use this as a DAW. That alone is worth the cost of this unit, so I don't necessarily have to have another device to do that. So I think that is really, really cool. As I showed you earlier, there was a little doohickey inside the box. This is a little mounting bracket. It actually acts as a swivel. This is a fixture clamp that works with this system, and it acts as a way of clamping the unit to whatever you feel you might want to clamp it to. The clamp that comes with this thing is humongous. This thing, look at this thing. This looks like it belongs in my garage, and if you get your fingers caught in here, you're going to be in a lot of pain. But it has a little mounting section here which clips in to the little bracket, has a little screw that goes in there, screws everything together, and actually acts very similar to a GoPro. You can mount that clip to whatever you want. It could be a table, it could be a mic stand, it could be whatever you wish. I don't really have a need for that attachment, so I haven't been using it. I just put this on my desk or put it on my amplifier, and it does have really good quality, grippy rubber pads at the bottom of it, so it won't slide off. Even if you're playing really loud and your whole amplifier is shaking, it's not going to slide off because it has the really nice grip. So if you need that clamp, it's available. I don't really need it. I won't be using it. So the accessory box that we looked at earlier does have the wall wart with a nice long cable, as well as a bag with a USB charger, so you don't have to go out and buy an additional USB cable for it. It comes complete with the package. Now, of course, a wireless system is only as good as the sound quality it produces. I'm gonna have a hard time making you hear what this sounds like because I can't make you hear what's the sound coming out of my in-ear monitors. But what I can do is hook it up to my FM9 and play a little bit for you so you can actually hear the sound as it's being recorded into my software. And that can give you a pretty good idea of what you're gonna expect to hear. So let's hear what this thing sounds like. I got my in-ear monitors all set up in my ears. I got my guitar plugged in through the FM9, and I got the receiver ready to go. So let's listen to it. You have a little taste of what you're hearing through the FM9 going through the wireless in-ear monitors into the NUX system. This whole system could last 6 hours, so you can have 6 hours of enjoyment through the onboard battery, plenty of time, even if you're doing a mega long rehearsal or show. Unless you're playing for Bruce Springsteen, you have nothing to worry about. I selected my own Addicted to Gear logo and put it on there, which I think is really cool. I like that a lot. You can put your band name, you can put your girlfriend's picture, your dog, whatever you wish. I put the Addicted to Gear logo. Very easy to do. Just drag and drop it in with the software and you're good to go. Then after that, you have the brightness display, which is self-explanatory. You can just make it brighter or less bright, however you wish. The system info, which just basically gives you the version number, the firmware, so that you know whether or not you have the latest software in there. You have the language, set that to English. You have the auxiliary levels for the input. You can set those very easily. If it's too loud for you, you can just make that adjustment quite easily there. And you also have the phone level, so that if you're listening to your recordings with your headphones going into this, you can also adjust that so it's not too loud for you. As well as the input settings, you can set up your inputs to be stereo or mono. I don't know why you would want to go mono. I usually go stereo, but you do have that option there as well. So a lot of really cool features. And finally, you do have the transmitting options here. You can go low latency, or you can go more, you can give it more stability depending on your environment. If you're seeing that you're getting a little bit of latency, you can make that adjustment. I usually keep it in the middle, right in between low latency and stability, and it seems to work perfectly fine for me that way, and I don't have to touch it. Now, a system like this is only as good as its reliability and sound quality. So far, I've been experiencing excellent sound. I haven't had any type of interference, even though I'm in a studio setting here with a lot of computers and speakers and other electronic devices around me. I'm not hearing any type of aliens coming through as I'm playing my guitar, which is really good. Latency, I don't feel any latency when I'm playing with this, and that is really critical for any type of wireless system, because if you do experience latency, it throws off your entire game and timing and everything. It feels very natural when I'm playing through this. Sound quality, excellent, no dropouts, no issues thus far. And I can't wait to actually try it for the first time in a band environment. It's going to be a learning experience for me because I don't usually use in-ear monitors, but I'm looking forward to it because so far I have nothing but good things to say about this unit. At the beginning of the video, I mentioned to you that you don't necessarily have to go out and buy a $200, $300, $400 set of in-ear monitors because they can be very expensive. I opted for a very good quality set of in-ear monitors at a very budget-friendly price, and I got these off of Amazon, and I'm extremely happy with these. So I'll put the link to these down in the notes section below the video if you're interested in checking them out and maybe you need a set for yourself. Don't go crazy, don't break the bank. These are excellent quality. So if I can do it without reading the manual, I'm sure you can do it as well. If you're afraid of going towards an in-ear monitor system, a wireless monitor system like this, I would recommend trying it. You might see that it can open up a lot of new opportunities for you and really make playing in a live situation, if you're dealing with too much, overload of volume, and it's just drowning you out, it could make things way more pleasant for you, and you get to feel like a rock star. Hey, I do appreciate you guys tuning in to Addicted to Gear regularly. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell icon. We do appreciate your subscriptions, and it helps the channel grow. Now, if you've already used a wireless in-ear monitor system, perhaps you've already used the B7-Pros from NUX, or maybe you're using something completely different, I'd like to hear from you guys. I want to know how you feel about in-ear monitors. I know that most people are quite divided. There's some people that just can't get used to the in-ear monitors and hearing yourself that way. Some people don't feel it's natural and prefer to hear the sound coming out of the cabinet, even if it's loud. I want to hear from you guys. If you fit in one camp or the other, I want to know what you feel. And I'll be following up this video with a little update once I actually get to use the unit in a live scenario. And I'll give you an update on that, let you know how that worked out, and if I still like the unit after that. I'm always happy to share my feedback, and I hope you guys do appreciate it, and it's helping you guys making your own buying decisions. I highly recommend the system. Try it out for yourself. It might just do the job. That's it for now, guys. See you soon.